All right, let's get the C032, this Huey, up in the air. Now this is again from rtrhobby.com, link down in the description below. All right, got our battery in there. Let's turn this thing on. All right, turn on your transmitter, activate it. And then we're going to calibrate the gyro. We are on a level surface. There, we're calibrated. And now from here we can just hit the one button takeoff, or you can do the sticks to down and away. That's going to activate the rotor blade. So we're going to set it down on the ground here off the table. We're just going to try the one button takeoff, which is right there. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to be taking off. This thing has 3 speeds to it for head speeds, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to have it on the lowest, and we're just going to be hitting the automatic takeoff button and seeing how this works. They say about 13 minutes of run time, so we'll see what happens here. So let's go ahead and take this off. One touch button, spooling up it goes. And that's pretty, you can see hands off right there. So it's kind of hovering and doing its thing. Seems to wander a little bit. It is a little bit breezy here at the field. So again, for beginners or anything like that, can't really speak to it because I'm a beginner myself. Give it a little throttle here. I'm used to flying planes, not so much helis. So as to what's exactly out there in the beginner heli market, I couldn't tell you. But for something that, you know, you have not a whole lot of expense to, this thing has a lot of features to it that kind of help it to be stable so you can actually fly it as a beginner. So if you have some type of RC experience, this could be something that is for you. If you're somebody that has absolutely no experience, then this may not be the best choice, because something more advanced on a buddy box with an experienced pilot would be the way to go. But for me, I have a good bit of RC experience. I understand the controls. And we can see if we can bring it down. We're lowering it down. Give it throttle. We take this thing up. And it's not like twitchy responsive. Like if you killed throttle there, it drops and it goes back up just as quick. But as far as motion and turning or pitching the nose up or down, it's really kind of controlled. And that's full forward. Full forward again. And then if I just let off, it kind of sets itself right there. So some drone-like tendencies, and right now I'm completely hands-off as it deals with the wind, which is pretty nice. If you hit that down throttle, it definitely does bring her down in a heartbeat. But if you just want something to play around, it's fairly controlled. Like, I really think you could fly this around in a bigger living room if you wanted to. And then you don't have to contend with the wind. The one thing that is different, I can tell you guys, about flying this versus an airplane. When you go to fly a plane and you want to do something slower, you slow the plane down. Here, if you slow this thing down, it falls out of the air. So it is a little bit different getting used to that. But as far as smooth flight, especially when there's no wind, it does a pretty good job with that stuff. A little bit more altitude here. Mine did come with 2 batteries. They give you an extra set of blades, main blades and rotor blade. Tail rotor. See if we can make everybody sick. Now this does have a 3D mode to it, and I'll be honest, I want to get I want to get a normal flight in first before I start playing around with the inverted 3D flight. I'll bring it back here. Just lowering it at altitude so we're out of the wind. And let me see, because it does have this radar sensor underneath and then kind of like an airspeed sensor as well. Wonder what happens if I just bring it close to the ground, how it reacts, if it'll let me touch. Because the way you land it, you can either hit the auto land button, and see, I'm trying to force it, guys, to the ground there, and it won't go. Now, if you wanted to, yeah, that stabilization system is actually keeping it from smacking the ground. So if you wanted to, you just hold in the auto land button, or you hold in the throttle down button, and that would get you landed. So it does have a couple features there for that. And there you can see the wind's kicked up a little bit, and it's pushed it on me. And again, right now we're just fighting that breeze. You can probably hear it in the microphone of the camera. So we'll try and gently work our way back. And we're probably, if you wanted to know about wind, what can it fly in? We're probably 5 to 8 mile an hour winds right now. A little bit, it ain't bad, but it is still controllable. When the wind got it a little bit, so had it not been for that auto system in there, I probably would have crashed it right there. So it's kind of neat. Has a little bit of a safety to it. Let's see what speed 2 looks like. And again, that may even be even better for dealing with this wind. All right, let's bring it back and let's auto land this thing. Click it into 1 speed there. All right. And let's go ahead, we'll drift back a little bit, get it close. And we're gonna hit the land button. And that's it, it pops itself down and turns off. All right, let's wrap it up. All right guys, so now we're up in the air and we're gonna get this thing flipped over by the manual when it does the drip drip sound. So the flight on this is inverted, as you can see here in the camera, so you can fly this inverted, and the controls are the same as they would be flying right side up. Now if you are a heli pilot, this is going to be a little bit backwards from what you're used to, but it does have the ability, and there you see it, to fly upside down, which is super cool. So we're going to go ahead, let's get this thing right side up. And again, we're out here in the wind, so the wind is still pushing the thing around and it does okay. Now, before you flip this thing over, you do have to turn the head speed up to the 3rd position, and you have to be about 3 meters, which is more than 2, less than 4 off the ground in order to get this thing flipped over. There we have it, right side up. And let's bring this thing back in and we're going to land it. All right, guys, and there you have it. That's the initial or maiden flight of the C032. This is the UH-1 Huey from rtrhobby.com. Link down in the description below. Things available in a lot of different schemes. They have the green, they have this yellow and blue, and they also have pink. So from a beginner perspective, if you have some RC experience, I think that you could fly this thing around pretty well, especially with no wind. I think it's good to get into helis at a very inexpensive price. If you have absolutely no experience with flying any of these things, I think the parts availability may be a thing for you to consider. With that being said, I think the transmitter that comes with it is well laid out for the button functions. I think it kind of labels everything pretty clearly so you know what to do with it when used in conjunction with the instructions. So with that being said, it's something we're definitely going to play around with a lot more. Go pick yourself up one, link down in the description below. I'm Brendan. This is Just Plain Crazy. You're just plain crazy for always hanging out and watching. I appreciate every one of you. Smash that thumbs up. It helps us out a lot. If you're going to hit that thumbs down, definitely give me 2 of those for sure. Don't forget to check out the official Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok Just Plain Crazy pages. So until the next time, I wish you guys happy flights. Peace out. Welcome everybody back to Just Plain Crazy. I'm Brendan. Thanks for joining me again for another episode down in the layer and from rtrhobby.com. This is the C032 UH-1 Huey. Available in a plethora of schemes. This micro heli is a ready to fly heli. In a box, comes with a transmitter. I'm not a heli guy. I'm a planker, bro. So with that being said, let's unbox it and see what we got in the inside, and then we're going to see how it flies. Okay, so this should be a fairly quick opening intro and right out to the field. All right, so let's get this bad boy opened up. Now this is an RC Error heli, so they have all different kinds of sizes and styles. I am more of a scale heli guy than I am for looks anyway. I like the looks of scale helis more so than 3D or aerobatics. We have destructions. Looks like we got a couple covers in there and a screwdriver. Got a charge cord. Got an extra tail. Okay, little screwdriver on the inside of there. Tail rota. Protective cover. You can order these with 1 battery or 2. Mine came with 2 batteries. Turn them on right there, little button. Got yourself a set of extra main blades. We'll take out our remote, and I could tell you, I've done a couple of these now, and you got to put batteries in the back. This goes back old school where you're going to throw in 4 AA's in there. What I like about this transmitter, this is a basic transmitter, right? This is a entry level, maybe hard to get parts kind of heli, but it has so many little features to it to help you be successful as a beginner. They give you a transmitter, everything's ready to go, so ready to fly, so that way you don't really have to spend a lot of time figuring helis out. On and off switch, trim switches, you got your stop, you got 3 speed selections, you have your automatic takeoff and your automatic landing, and then this has the ability to fly upside down with a neat feature where you can fly it as normal upside down. So with that being said, just a little basic transmitter. And then we have the Huey. So this thing, I decided I wanted to go with the yellow and the blue scheme here. This thing is available in the regular military green. It's also available in pink, and then this yellow color. So battery is going to snap right in here to the bottom, and you have a couple sensors down here. So this thing is going to utilize those to make sure you have a stable hover and forward flight. So whether you're just hovering or moving as you're going, it helps with the gyro and those sensors. So it's got a topography sensor in there and then an airflow sensor, so that way it can determine what you're doing with it and help keep you stable and in the air so you could fly this thing successfully and maybe develop a deeper passion for helis. So I'm a plane guy. I don't know if I'll ever fully get into a heli thing, but I do like scale helis. So that being said, that is a very, very simple unboxing. We're going to go ahead and throw the batteries in the back. We're going to utilize, this should be just a regular USB-C charger. We're going to go ahead and charge up our batteries for this thing, and as soon as they're charged, we're going to go out and fly it.